What's going on, everybody? My name is John Serwin, and this is my kitchen. Welcome. Today, I'm going to show you how I made this delicious homemade chicken marsala served on a bed of Parmesan polenta. I'll show you the techniques and how it's done. Stay tuned. To prep up our chicken for our chicken marsala, I'm going to take chicken breasts. I'm going to do 4 breasts here, then I'm going to clean off some of the fat. Now that we have 4 breasts cleaned up, I am going to go ahead and fillet these in half. I'm actually, on some of these, this one, I'm going to try a new technique I just discovered. So, on a chicken breast, you have this side that is the thicker side, this side the thinner side. What I'm going to end up doing, cut it right in half, right down this way, and we are going to actually butterfly it this way and see how it turns out. I mean, not bad. Might not look like the prettiest thing in the world, but that's pretty even thickness, and that's what we want. I'm going to do the same to this one over here, but on the other ones, I'm going to show you a different technique. Pretty wild. Kind of like it. Put those into my bowl, get those seasoned up. For these ones, all I want to do is remember that process of palm only. And we are going to fillet these directly in half. And we will use a meat tenderizer, which is actually a very terrible term for what that thing does, because it doesn't tenderize meat, it just pulverizes it and pounds it down. What we want to do, get this nice and thin. So using not the sharp side, but the smooth side. You could use plastic wrap if you want, but I just take this as just straight water, just to break the surface tension. So when we go ahead and hit this, we hit down and slide. We want to slide. You don't want to just go straight down. You want to kind of maneuver it out by sliding it around as well. And just lightly pound it out until you get a nice thin cutlet. And there you go, pretty evenly thin. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of those chicken breasts, and we'll be right back. Well, actually, after finishing off the rest of those chicken and then sanitizing the work area, we now have some nice cutlets. Got the glove off so I can season with this hand, grab with this hand. Yeah, nice and thin. So all I'm going to do right now is put a little bit of salt on all of these. So let this salt just sit on here and work on it for about 15 minutes. Remember, always season high. That way you can get some nice even dispersion. And if you miss some areas, that's when you can go in down low and season low. All I'm going to do, since we already have salt on there, I have just pepper and garlic, 1-to-1 mixture right here. So I'm going to go ahead and season up this chicken right now with it. Do some nice big pinches, and we're going to have a wet hand and a dry hand. So the wet hand will be grabbing the chicken, I guess the dirty hand, if you want to consider it that. So what I'm going to do, dry hand, dirty hand, I'm going to end up mixing this all around, get that pepper, garlic all over the rest of this chicken here. It's easier to season the chicken than it is to just season the flour, because you don't know how much is going on everything. Grab the chicken. So I'm going to grab a nice piece. We'll do this right here. All seasoned up. Put it on in. And then I take the flour with my other hand and just coat it all in flour. Do a light tapping on top. Flip it over. Make sure this was all covered. Light tap, and then just, you can see now it's a very light coating of flour on that chicken. And then just lay it on our rack and get the rest done. We will be serving that chicken marsala on a nice bed of Parmesan Polenta. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I have 3 cups of water plus 1 cup of milk. We're going to go ahead and get this up to a boil. We have now obtained boilage, so I have a cup of white cornmeal or white polenta right in here. Oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and slowly cascade it in, whisking the entire time. You know what? I don't know if I'm blocking. I'm going to try it this way. Not great with my left hand, but we'll see. All right, it is all incorporated. We are going to turn this down, move this back to a simmer burner. We're going to keep checking it at 25 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, and give it a stir. We also covered it. I forgot to mention that. Make sure giving it a cover. Over at this big burner, we're going to take 12-inch stainless steel pan, get it onto medium heat, and we are going to grab our favorite frying fat there is, my beautiful quart of beef tallow. We're going to put in about a tablespoon, maybe 2, into the stainless steel, let that come up to temp. All right, now we have some wisps of smoke. Remember that chicken that we had all coated up? That's what it looks like now. Maybe this time only 2 on this one. But remember, I'm going to lay it away for me. See how I laid it away? Go ahead and give it a cover, and we'll check it in about 2 minutes. Just about 2 minutes has elapsed, and you can see. Let's take a look at the other side. That's perfect. Just a tiny bit of color on there. All right, another 2 minutes, and we're going to keep cooking up the rest of the batch. All right, our chicken should be done. Yep. A little bit of color on that side. Just keep going with the rest of these. We just want to be careful. This right here, this is what will be part of our pan sauce, so we do not want to burn it. So I now have 2 batches of my chicken done, and I'm at a point where I need to add more fat, but I don't want to add any more because I will just render it out myself. We're going to be putting 10 ounces of pancetta in here, so I'm going to go ahead and render out the fat from the pancetta right now, and we will fry the last batch of the chicken in the pancetta fat. The pancetta is almost fully cooked down to my liking. You can see how much fat has come out. That's why I didn't want to add really any other fat when I am going to be using this. So I'm going to cook this down probably another 1-2 minutes. Take it out, finish off the other chicken breasts, and then we will build our pan sauce. Now that all of our chicken is out and resting, we're going to build the pan sauce for the Marsala. What we're going to throw in first is we have 1 yellow onion. So it'll help deglaze the bottom of this pan too, because we want to keep all of that deliciousness we got on the bottom. Saute these up for about 3-4 minutes. Now that our onions have cooked down some, I am going to throw in about 1 tablespoon of butter. And we are going to throw in 1 pound of baby Bella mushrooms. All right, into the pool we go. May look like a lot of mushrooms right now, but I guarantee you they will cook down. Going to go ahead and saute these down. What happens with mushrooms, they're going to actually give up a lot of their moisture in the first 2-3 minutes, and then that moisture will evaporate, and then they'll start frying. So what I am going to do is throw in a nice heavy pinch kosher salt to go ahead and assist in the moisture getting drawn out of the mushrooms. All right, it has now been about 35-40 minutes, and our polenta looks really, really good. So we are going to throw in 50 grams of Parmesan cheese, get that incorporated, and 3 tablespoons of butter. We're going to get this all mixed in. Now that the mushrooms are starting to cool down, we're going to go ahead and take about 2 or 3 fresh sprigs of thyme and just peel off the thyme and get it in there. Thyme and mushrooms go together unbelievably well. So almost every time I'm cooking mushrooms, I am putting fresh thyme in there, if I have it on hand. That smells so good in here right now. I wish you guys could smell it. But hey, you will when you make it. Now that the mushrooms have cooked down, we got in here the mushrooms, the onions, the pancetta fat, and a little bit of thyme. We're going to throw in about 1 cup of Marsala wine. Just coat the bottom, deglaze, and start reducing that wine down. Man, that smells so good. I'm going to deglaze this pan and reduce this wine down by about half. It should start thickening it up from that residual flour. All right, now that our Marsala has reduced down for about 5 minutes, I'm going to take a nice quality box of chicken stock and add about 1.5 cups of chicken stock into here. We're going to bring this back up to a boil. Now that the chicken stock has reduced down and thickened up, we are going to add in only about, I'd say, 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Just want to give this a little bit lighter of a color and a little bit creamier of a mouthfeel. Get this heavy whipping cream incorporated in. Then we say everybody back in the pool. All the chicken goes back in, and we're gonna simmer it for about 5 minutes to have any more of that excess flour from the chicken release off and into the sauce. Plus it'll warm our chicken back up, and then we can check for seasoning. Try and submerge it as best as I can. Make sure you get those resting juices. All right, we're gonna let this go for about 5 minutes and we'll be back. There you have it, folks. We have our creamy Parmesan Polenta, our chicken Marsala, and now nothing left to do but plate it up and give it the official taste test. Oh, and don't forget, we have that pancetta that we roasted up earlier, and you got to always have a little bit of green. So there's some parsley that's going to be going on top. Just going to take a nice spoonful of this Parmesan Polenta, maybe two, right in the center. Going to grab, we'll go 2 nice pieces of chicken here. Got to make sure we get a little bit of the sauce in here. Go ahead and cascade that right on top. Can't forget about the pancetta going on. Nice little salty crisp to it, and a little bit of parsley. Ooh, or maybe a lot of parsley. Nothing left to do but the official taste test. So let's dive on in. All right, this is trying to, come on now. Wow. Man, that's the key, is able to hit all of those flavor combinations. It's creamy, it's fatty, it's tangy, it's slightly sweet from the Marsala. It combines together so well, that pancetta with the saltiness, the creaminess of the polenta, that sharpness of the Marsala, and slight sweetness of the Marsala wine sauce. Man, this one's fantastic. This is another classic, and I think a great Sunday supper or possibly even a Valentine's meal. Probably would wow someone with that. Give it a shot and let me know what you think. If you do make it, let me know, comment below. Remember, you're only making food out of ingredients until you sit down and share them with the ones you love. Then it's a meal. All right, guys, greatly appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. Until next time.